more folks.
Okay. So hi, my name is, hello and welcome to the ASP webinar for the APAC region on September 3rd, 2025 at 5 o'clock UTC. My name is Sharon Kriech and I am the remote participant manager for this session. Please note that this session is being recorded and is governed by the ICANN Expected Standards of Business Behavior and the ICANN Community of Anti-Harassment Policy. If you would like to ask a question, you may submit questions using the Q&A pod and the chat feature will be disabled during this session. We will be monitoring the questions throughout the call and answering them verbally at the end of the presentations. We will have a number of service providers presenting their services available to support prospective or current applicants. Presenters are asked to keep their presentation to 2 minutes. A 30-second warning will be published in the chat and a timer will sound at the 2-minute mark. As a reminder, this session is being recorded and questions asked during the sessions and these answers will be accessible to not only participants in the room, but to those watching the recording. The recording will be made available after the meeting and will remain posted through the end of the next round application period. To ensure transparency of participation in ICANN's multi-stakeholder model, we ask that you sign into Zoom using your full name. You may be removed if you do not. Note that for this session, only the ICANN staff webinar hosts are able to see the names of participants. This is to protect the business confidentiality of the ASP applicants' information in advance of the opening of the new gTLD program application submission period. I will now hand the floor over to Samiran Gupta, VP, Stakeholder Engagement and Managing Director of Asia Pacific.
Thank you, Sharon, and welcome everyone again to this ASP webinar, the first in a series that is happening across the world. And thank you to our colleagues from APRALO who's helped us put this together. We have a very tight schedule today, so I want to welcome the pro bono service providers and mentors who have joined this webinar. And of course, thanks to my colleagues across the world who are working to put this together. Without further ado, let me invite Amrita to take the floor for her welcome remarks. Amrita.
Thank you so much, Samiran, and welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm sorry our videos are not working because of certain confidentiality which has to be maintained. We would have loved to have at least the pro bono service providers, mentors actually share their video, but nevertheless, thank you for being here. APRALO and at large, which represents the end user interests, want this ASP program to be successful this time because, and we want the genuine interested applicants to benefit from this program. And with less than 2.5 months left for the application period, along with GSC, the applicant support team from ICANN, we thought we should have this discussion here where we can have the pro bono service providers and mentors come and speak, share where they're working, what support they can have, and interested people could reach out to them and take the conversation further so that it enhances at least the applications from this region. And with that, thank you so much, and over to you, to the team who's leading it.
Thanks very much, Amrita, and welcome everyone. I will put my video on since I am able. My name is Kristy Buckley, and I serve as the lead for the next round's Applicant Support Program, otherwise known as ASP. I'm going to provide a brief presentation on the program and the resources available, as well as some questions around, how do you qualify for support and so on. So with that, we'll go to the next slide. So one of the first questions that we get on the Applicant Support Program is who is eligible to apply and qualify for support. So as you see on this slide, to apply, you must be one of these entity types This is a nonprofit, a non-governmental or charitable organization, an intergovernmental organization, an Indigenous or tribal peoples organization, or a small business that operates as a social enterprise or that's located in a less developed economy. Applicants need to certify to being one of these types in the list and provide corresponding documentation. The next slide talks about the evaluation process. So there are three main categories that we look at here. We have public responsibility due diligence, financial need, and financial viability. This part of the evaluation is conducted by an independent third party evaluator, and those panelists are charged with conducting a fair, independent, consistent, and reliable evaluation process to assess all applicants. The panelists will review all three of these categories and ensure that the applicant meets these on a pass or fail basis. There's no scoring. There's little subjectivity involved. It's really trying to provide as clear-cut criteria and indicators. Maybe I'll just stop there. There's more detail we could provide, but just for the sake of time, we'll go to the next slide. So this next section talks a little bit about the applicant readiness materials that we have available. So what we mean by readiness is resources that will help the applicant prepare for applying for ASP and understand the materials and information that they're going to need to do so. So the first one here is the ASP Quick Start Guide. This helps people understand the key considerations when applying to the program. In that guide, you'll find answers to questions like, what are the benefits of the Applicant Support Program? Is my organization eligible to receive support? What are the requirements for proof of qualification? What can I expect during the application process? And how do I apply? That guide also includes links to the other two resources that are listed here, which include the applicant checklist. This provides a summary account of the information required as part of the ASP application. So it helps provide applicants a view of all the documentation that you're going to need to support your application. And then we have the system user guide, which is a technical job aid to help guide the applicant through the online application system. So this includes screenshots and detailed instructions step by step to help walk you through the process. The next slide talks about some key dates that are important to remember. So the first one is the dates of the application window. So we opened the window to apply for ASP last November on the 19th, 2024, and it will close again on the 19th of November, 2025. We're also anticipating that the new gTLD program applicant guidebook, which is really the critical resource in order to get all the information needed to apply for a gTLD, that will be available in December of 2025. And then the plan is currently to have the new gTLD program open for applications in April of 2026. And the next slide talks a little bit about the capacity development work that we're doing as sort of an expansion of some of those readiness materials that I talked about earlier. So this slide provides a bit of a map of sort of what resources are available across that applicant timeline. You see in the orange bar from a newly supported applicant that has qualified to helping that applicant prepare to apply for their gTLD, and then helping them navigate the post-gTLD application process. So on either side of that orange timeline, you can see a number of different resources that are available across that. And the next slide unpacks that a little bit further. So to package those resources together, the team has put together a supported applicant toolkit. And this is intended to be a one-stop shop for where applicants can learn to find learning content, access virtual touch points, and get guidance on becoming part of the ICANN community. So the learning content is intended to be self-service and include a number of different resources in different formats for applicants to access. The second is where we anticipate virtual touchpoints to help educate applicants. This could include communications with the applicant counselor, special topic sessions, for example. And then lastly is guidance on becoming a part of the ICANN community, which we hope our APRALO colleagues and many of the pro bono service providers and mentors can be helpful with when we get to that point as well. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Aisha, but I just want to check. I'm seeing a little bit of glitchiness on the slides. Sharon, do you want to try stopping sharing and restarting? We tested this earlier and there wasn't any jumping, but now it's jumping again. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. With that, I'm going to turn to my colleague Aisha Harrell, who serves as the applicant counselor for the Applicant Support Program, and soon in the future will be the applicant counselor for the next round. Aisha?
Thank you, Kristy. Hello, everyone. And I'm sorry, unfortunately, I'm unable to show my video or undo my video. But my name is Aisha Harrell, and I am the applicant counselor for the ASP program. I will provide a brief description of the applicant counselor role and the pro bono service provider and mentors program. So the applicant counselor role is designed to provide guidance on understanding the application materials, responding to applicant questions, and those questions can be sent to global support at ICANN.org, managing the ASP toolkit content, which includes FAQs and other ASP resources, and providing information about existing materials and resources, including resources related to the RSP program. The applicant counselor can also provide guidance on costs involved in reinforcing the understanding of contracting requirements. Next slide, please. So the pro bono service providers offer volunteer professional services such as general business services, application services, and technical services. And you will hear more from these volunteers shortly. And next slide, please. Pro bono mentors volunteer their time to share industry experience, their knowledge of ICANN, and provide advice or share their own experience on navigating the application process. And now I'll go ahead and turn back to Kristy for the ASP application statistics.
Thank you so much, Aisha. So we wanted to provide an update for those that might be curious about what we've seen so far in terms of the number of applications for ASP and also the geographic distribution of those. So as of the 19th of August, we had a total of 50 active applications in the system. And active applications means that the applicant has been active in the system in the last 90 days, which distinguishes between inactive applicants that may have started an application many months ago out of curiosity, or they created an account, but they didn't really intend to apply and they haven't been active for some time. So these active applications that we have are across all 5 regions that ICANN works and 18 countries and territories. The graph here you see shows the number of applications in a region and then the expanse across the number of countries or territories. So for the APAC region, we have a total of 15 active applications, and those span, this is testing my eyesight now, 5 countries across APAC. So it helps to show the breadth of the applications. ICANN is not publishing exactly which countries the applications are coming from, just because the industry is quite small and we want to protect the business confidentiality of those that have applied or may intend to apply until we get to the new gTLD program. The next slide talks a little bit about the importance, and I really can't underscore this enough for folks that are thinking about applying or that have started an application, that it's really critical to apply early in that window, because we have budgeted support for up to 40 applicants at an 85% fee reduction. If the demand in the program exceeds that amount, the fee reduction can be reduced to 75% fee reduction and cover up to 45 supported applicants. But it is important to recognize that there are resource limitations to the program. And so that's why we're encouraging people to apply early so that they can take advantage of that. The ASP evaluations are conducted on an ongoing basis. So the first applicants to apply and qualify for support will be able to take advantage of the resources available. And those that apply after the available resources have been expended may have to wait until future cycles of the program. In addition to that, the kind of financial piece of it, new gTLD program applicants also really need time to negotiate with a registry service provider or an RSP in advance of submitting a gTLD application, and they may want to use the pro bono service providers and mentors that are available as volunteers in order to help them prepare their gTLD applications as well. So the access to additional non-financial supports will be most beneficial if supported applicants really have adequate time to utilize those resources. It also avoids a situation where the applicant is waiting for the results of their ASP evaluation during or close to the new gTLD submission period for the applications. And with that, we are going to meet the pro bono service providers and mentors that have very kindly joined us today. Amrita, did you want to kick this off in terms of introducing folks, or we just dive?
No, I think you all would be doing that because that was,
Okay.
since you can see them, you can invite.
Okay, so the first one up is Thomas Barrett. And Tom, you should be able to unmute and you have the floor.
All right. Thank you, Kristy. Can you hear me okay?
We can, yes.
All right. Fantastic. Hi, everyone. My name is Thomas Barrett, and I've spent 27 years in the DNS industry, helping organizations launch and grow trusted and successful domain registries. I can help you guide you through every stage of the TLD process, from application strategy and business planning to selecting the right registry service provider, to helping shape your go-to market and channel strategy beyond the use of ICANN registrars. I have worked closely with highly regulated registries such as .bank, .cpa, .post, and .pharmacy, so I understand the verification and trust frameworks required to stand out as a registry operator. Oftentimes, a domain registry is part of a larger goal of serving a specific user community. Perhaps you want to offer community members digital identities or onboard them to a blockchain application. In fact, here at my business, we are launching a domain name tokenization project with digital wallets and crypto payments with several registry partners. So focusing on the mission of a new registry while ensuring they remain in compliance with ICANN is where I excel. My role as a mentor is to give applicants a trusted sounding board, someone who can shorten the learning curve, open up doors, and help avoid costly mistakes. And my goal is to help you navigate the complexities and maximize your registry opportunity. And by the way, You can work with more than one mentor. I know many of the people coming up after me today, and oftentimes we do work together. Many of them offer complementary expertise and resources, and I would be happy to provide recommendations on who else you should be working with. Feel free to reach out to schedule a call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate that. The next one up is Alan Woods. Alan? I don't think we checked your audio earlier, so if you need, we just have to raise your hand or we can try and find you in the Zoom room. Search here. I'm not seeing Alan on the call, so maybe we go to the next one. Ahmad, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Kristy. First of all, excuse me if I sound a little bit off. I've been recovering from a few days of what seems to be COVID infection, and it's past midnight here, so I'm banished to the kitchen. That being said, I come from a different angle, so I haven't worked on the TLD applications specifically, but I work on with businesses in general, with service businesses, to help them improve and scale up their businesses. So I might not be appealing to all the audience here, but if you are scaling a technical service business within the ICANN ecosystem and you're feeling the drag, the complexity, the margin pressure, or the team fatigue, then this might be good for you. So what I do is I will give you a strategic unfair advantage to scale and sync. I created something called WinSync framework, which helps firms 5 times their revenues in about 24 to 48 months. And it just starts with a simple 30 minutes discussion. This starts with a scale smart growth path, which is basically a 30-minute one-on-one diagnostic session where we cover hidden friction, profit leaks, and we check your company's AI readiness. We give you a scorecard that will indicate your readiness to move forward. Then we go into the Scale Smart Growth and Health Discovery call, which is if you qualify from the first call, you will get a 2-hour strategic consulting for a qualified for one challenge only, and we will map the team, technology, or profit gaps, and we build a 90-day attack plan to help bridge those gaps. Then we move to the Scale Smart Quick Win Automation Pack, where you get 2 to 3 proven low-code automations that you can actually use in your business, and we move on from there. Thank you.
Ahmad, thank you so much. And the apologies for the music. We just thought it was the most diplomatic way to signal.
It's nice. Thank you.
So thank you for bearing with us on that. And sorry to hear that you're sick. Thank you for joining us despite that.
Sure, no problem. Thank you very much.
Vivek, please take the floor.
Yeah, hi, thank you. First of all, I'm so glad to be doing an ICANN related meeting when the sun is out for me, otherwise mostly in the middle of the night. So glad to be here. I have been involved with ICANN and domain name system for over a decade now. In the first round, I managed 3 applications on behalf of an employer that I was employed with and got hooked onto ICANN and the domain name. When you look at this whole process, I think the biggest challenge that has to be overcome is to convincing your business partner, your stakeholders on why this is important, why you should do this, and how it will make a difference to your business. And I think I can bring a lot of expertise and knowledge to help you overcome that, and also guide you through the process on what are the pitfalls that you can avoid, how you can write an application in a much better way, and what you can write to make your chances of succeeding much higher. Like I said, I am based out of India. I have presence in multiple cities in India, and we also have offices in Singapore. So that helps us cover Southeast Asia quite well. Having done this previously, it definitely helps to do this again when you know what challenges we faced last time, which we can avoid having to do it this time. When you fill the application or when you look at the whole application process, sometimes it's difficult to translate the requirements, which sometimes seem to be more US centric, into the practices which are focused on in Asian countries. And that's where I think my experience and that of my company will be helpful in making sure that you make the right decisions and provide the right information. Being based in Asia, I'm available during Asian working hours. So if anybody needs help or you just want to bounce off ideas, if this is the right process for you to go through, more than happy to help. My contacts are here. Look forward to hearing from members who are looking for ASP. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vivek. And with that, we'll go to our next speaker. I think this was Hong Fu, is that right?
That's correct. Dive writing. I'm Hong Fu from the Chinese. We are a domain name registrar based in Taipei, and it's a privilege to be here today as a pro bono service provider. And having been directly engaged in publications during the 2012 round, the Chinese have gained hands-on experience with the complexities of ICANN processes, the nuance of evaluation, and the strategic considerations that leads to successful outcomes. Moreover, our management of a city named TLD has given us invaluable insights into the real-world operations of a registry. Through our extensive work in technical implementation, contractual compliance, and policy engagement in areas such as RDAP, escrow, and IDN, we are well equipped to navigate the intricate landscape of both registry and registrar functions. We don't just understand policy and theory, we have actively tackled the challenges of running a registry, ensuring compliance, building partnerships, and delivering essential services to the global community that we serve. Our comprehensive understanding of both registries and registrars uniquely position us to assist our clients effectively. We know the intricacies of the landscape, which enables us to provide tailored guidance in planning, application, and routine operations. This dual perspective as both applicant and operator is what sets us apart. We recognize the pitfalls to avoid, the opportunities to leverage, and how to transform a gTLD from an abstract concept into a trusted digital asset that serves its community. As a pro bono service provider, we are dedicated to making this knowledge accessible. We are committed to helping underserved applicants navigate the program with confidence, ensuring that strong community-driven ideas are not sidelined due to lack of resources. Professionalism, precision, and integrity guide all our work here at NetChinese. The new round of gTLD presents an incredible opportunity for innovation and inclusion, and we are proud to play a role in shaping a stronger, more diverse internet namespace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hong Fu. I really appreciate that. We're just gonna see if we can switch sharing here to get rid of the glitchiness. So I am going to try and share my screen. This has been a recent problem with Zoom on our side. So let's see if this is any better. Thank you for your patience. And with that, we'll go to Krista Taylor.
Can you hear me? I just want to check the audio.
We can hear you.
Perfect. I love the music. It reminds me of Hunger Games, so it's a great way to start this off. I think that, thank you for having me today. I think the biggest thing of the Applicant Support Program coming in new to the industry is don't be intimidated. There's a lot of things on policies and acronyms and everything else, but the big thing is just to figure out if you have the right business plan and the right idea before you apply. And so we really focus from the business perspective as well as the operational side of things. We did about 50 plus applications in the 2012 round, but I've also spent a significant amount of time in the day-to-day operations of TLDs, with over 40 under our belt and currently working on the launch of .mobile. The other part is we are completely independent, so we are completely focused on your success. So you never have to worry if there's some kind of conflict of interest or if we might be applying for the same string. And we're also one of the participants in the ASP program. So whether it's, when you do have a TLD idea, we just really focus on making your ASP and your ICANN application stronger. We help you navigate the ICANN policies as simply as possible so you don't get bogged down by it. We'll help you work through and create a viable business model so that you're really ready to succeed as you move forward. And we also, right now we're spending a lot of time on string strategy of which string makes the most sense. And the biggest concern for everyone is auctions and how potentially to avoid that. So whatever it might be, we have a class online, just to make it, we have a class online at tlds.school, and just feel free to reach out. We're here to help you. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Krista. Really appreciate that. Next, we will go to Henry Chen. Please, you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Henry Chen, and I'm a registry product manager at Nominet. And Nominet is the registry operator of .uk, the United Kingdom country code top-level domain. We have more than 10 million domain under management, and that makes us one of the largest country code domain registry in the world. We manage over 80 TLDs on our platform, including 2 UK geographic TLDs, the .Wales and .Kimmeries, for which we fully own as the registry operator. We have extensive experience in supporting both generic and brand TLDs, and on the brand TLD front, we provide registry services for the like of Microsoft, Gucci, and the BBC. We are also one of the 3 emergency backend registry operators selected by ICANN, a critical component of the new gTLD program. Nominet is a public benefit company, and that is why the ASP is very interesting to us, and we are absolutely delighted to have the opportunity to discuss with you new gTLD projects that diversify and broaden the use of DNS. And before I pass the floor on, just a little bit about myself. I've been working in the domain name industry for more than 16 years and held different product and commercial positions on both the registry and the registrar side. I've been actively involved in the 2012 new gTLD run, and I personally led a brand TLD application for this company in Hong Kong. So please feel free to connect with me via emails or LinkedIn and all the other contact methods on the ASP website. And I'm more than happy to take discussion with you offline. And thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Henry, for joining and for presenting here today. With that, we'll go to Venkatesh, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Venkatesh Subramanian. I am a principal consultant at .up ICANN Accreditation Consultancy and newgtldprogram.com. I have been part of the domain industry for more than 10 years, primarily helping domain registrars across the world in securing ICANN accreditations. We have helped over like 40 applicants in getting ICANN accreditation for the last 5 years for domain registrars. We also consult for TLD registries and brands on new gTLD strategies and application. And I contribute to industry discussions at ICANN, APTLD, Domain Days Dubai, and other global forums. I regularly upload videos in YouTube about new gTLDs and .brand top-level domains. And I'm also organizing a weekly webinar for the next 8 weeks for brands, specifically the Spec 13 application for .brands in the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia to spread awareness about the new gTLD next round. And alongside my consulting work, I also provide pro bono services to applicants, especially the nonprofits, community TLD operators, and first-time applicants in the new gTLD program. This includes helping them interpret in policies, prepare their application, and connect with registry service providers, RSPs. I also run mentor services where I coach new gTLD applicants, guide .brand and gTLD applicants through strategic and compliance challenges, and also share lessons from the 2012 round. Finally, I have prepared a .brand new gTLD research report, which I'm happy to share on request with anyone who would like to take a deeper look at it. And you can also look at the trends and opportunities ahead on the 2026 round. Thank you, everyone, and I'm looking forward to connecting with many of you. You can find my contact details and my YouTube channel's link in the slide. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Venkatesh. Appreciate it. And our next speaker is Mark Daddyskeld. I don't see him in the room. I'll just do another check. Mark, are you here? If so, raise your hand. Don't see. Okay. Next one is Edmund Chung, please.
Thank you. Always excited to talk about new gTLDs. Asia, of course, is the first new gTLD coming from the Asia Pacific region, and we're very excited to provide our knowledge and expertise and experience on the process itself in various different aspects, from policy to marketing to navigating the ICANN process. But I did want to echo what Tom Barrett mentioned earlier, is that lots of friends actually presenting here, including Tom. We work with and Tom Meng from Chinese, and unfortunately Alan couldn't join us from Clean DNS, but it's an exciting community to be part of, and that's where the ASP is what the ASP is about, to get new registry operators to be part of the ICANN community as well. One of the things that we did last time round in 2012 is to support .kids, which is an interesting work, because this is the only successful ASP applicant in the last round, and we are quite proud to be supporting the initiative. But not only that, but right now, what is interesting is I think Kristy mentioned that it's a bit of a sprint to get things done in the next 2 months to go through the ASP program, but it's never just a sprint. It's always a marathon at ICANN. And through 10 years working through the ICANN process, .kids launched in 2022. And by now, 3 years into it, we have an operational surplus, and that's what we can help you do. But more importantly, we think that a noisy ICANN is a healthy ICANN. And right now, the sprint is also to look at the public comment that I put in and the problems with the ASP. And I hope you would take a look at that and chime in and make the ASP program even more successful. Thank you.
Thanks, Edmund. And with that, we'll go to our next speaker, Cheyenne. Please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cheyenne Rostam. I'm the principal of Internet Naming Company. I'm an ICANN accredited registry operator, and then also run a full service TLD management agency. I've been in the industry as a registry operator for over 10 years now. I've launched and operated more than 50 gTLDs and ccTLDs, including .xyz, .inc, .my, among many other TLDs. And I really specialize in maximizing the value of this unique asset class by streamlining operations, by executing on unique marketing and growth initiatives, by really trying to optimize how the TLD should be run in order to reach your target audience, work with the registrars, get the best pricing possible for critical services like backend and data escrow, et cetera. And so, I think the way I think about this in terms of helping ASP applicants is really in a more practical perspective. It's not just about the application itself, but it's about the launch process. It's about post-launch. It's about really trying to deliver a short-term and long-term ROI for what is really one of the most scarce and unique asset classes in the world, and something that I have quite a bit of experience in, launching TLDs ranging from $1 per year all the way up to $4,000 per year. So anyways, if anybody wants to reach out to me, all my contact information is at the bottom, and I am looking forward to working with you guys.
Thanks so much, Cyan. That's great. Our next speaker is Phil Buckingham. Please go ahead.
So, hi, good morning. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, so here in UK, and I'm struggling. But thank you, Justine and APRO, for inviting me to this really important call. So, where do we start here? I've been involved with I've been involved in the DNS industry for over 30 years now. It's insane to realize that before ICANN was formed. My background is I'm actually an accountant. I've been on the sub-pro working group since the beginning in 2016, where we were developing the whole program that's coming out, that's going to be launched in April 26. I've also been on the Applicant Support ASP program. So I've been helping ICANN basically put the handbook together, which you can obviously read and go through, which is very, very important you do, which is obviously on ICANN's site, and you've been told where you can find these resources. So I, with my partners, have literally formed a brand new company specifically for the next round, calling itself TLD Advice. I've had a company called Dot Advice for the last 15 years. I've been advising registries and registrars with a whole,
other than the ones that are very clearly not prospective applicants or ASP applicants. So the first question that we have here is, how can smaller developing countries ensure fair access to both financial and technical support so that gTLDs also reflect our cultural, linguistic, and community needs? So there's a few different answers to this potentially, and our colleagues from APRALO may also want to weigh in here. But it's part of the policy process. So there was a multi-stakeholder policy process within ICANN that developed the policies and the implementation guidance to direct and kind of design the entire next round, including the Applicant Support Program. And the first policy recommendation with respect to applicant support was, wanting to make sure that the program was open to everyone, regardless of their geographic location, as long as they met other program criteria. As you might note in the ASP handbook, there are some restrictions in terms of the targeted entity types. So there was a slide earlier that I talked about, NGOs, nonprofit groups, so kind of looking for diversity around that. Same as intergovernmental organizations or IGOs, indigenous or tribal groups. And then lastly, we have two categories for small business, either a small business that operates as a social enterprise, so trying to do good in the world, or a small business that's operating in a lesser developed economy. So in working with the community, and Phil Buckingham is very right, he was part of the ASP implementation review team from the community, along with many others, including Justine Chu, who is also on the call, to help guide the criteria for qualifying for the Applicant Support Program. And in coming up with those categories, the hope is that it's reflective of the type of diversity that we believe that the community in writing the policy recommendation was intending to cultivate with this program. So I hope that helps, to answer that question. There was a second question about how ICANN can ensure that this new gTLD round truly benefits all communities, not just the privileged ones. Excellent question. So the Applicant Support Program is one mechanism for encouraging applicants that may need technical support and or financial support to prepare and apply for a gTLD, but also to kind of navigate that whole process, including providing financial supports once they become a registry operator. So it is intended to be a support system throughout the applicant and new registry operator lifespan, so to speak. And I will say that that's not the only mechanism. So we also have, in fact, part of the next round program has a community priority evaluation, or otherwise known as CPE, whereby communities, if they would like to apply for a name that represents their community, could apply for that as a community-based gTLD. And that's a distinct evaluation process that they would go through in order to get a community TLD. And in doing so, if they prevail in that, they get priority over the name, even if they may be in contention with other applicants for the same string or the same name, so to speak. So those are a couple of different ways that the program can help benefit different communities, including there's another piece about internationalized domain names, or IDNs, which is something that ICANN is strongly encouraging. We're working with our ICANN community to help encourage IDNs as well. I see Vivek has a hand, so please, if you want to chime in here.
Yeah, Kristy, thank you. I just want to say that ICANN is a very collaborative and helpful environment. So I think this webinar is an example of how there's a dedicated effort to reach out to different parts of the world, even communities that might not have heard of this program or ICANN or would not be exposed to this. And from my experience with ICANN and members of the ICANN, I think you're only limited by your ability to ask for help. If there is anything, any aspect of ICANN that you need help on, you just have to ask. And people like us, all those who have taken time from their lives to come and speak about supporting the ASP, will be there to help you. So, I mean, quoting from Harry Potter, help will be given to those who ask for it. And you only have to ask for it. Thank you.
I love a good Harry Potter quote. Thank you so much for that, Vivek. That's great. I'm just looking to see if there's a couple more comments or questions in the chat. So yes, comment about sharing the slides. We will definitely post those on the ASP website resources page, and I can share the link once I stop sharing screen because I can't access anything right now. Oh wait, no, I lied. I can do that. I'll put this in the chat for everyone. But we also know that our colleagues from APRALO have created a wiki page for this webinar, and I believe posted the agenda, and perhaps that's also another location that we could share the slide deck with after the call. So yes, happy to make those materials available. If for whatever reason we don't get to all the questions that you have today, we will take note of those and make sure that we follow up with folks that registered so that you can get answers to those questions. With that, I'll go to Edmund.
Thank you. I just wanted to add to what Vivek mentioned. So it's not only just with the community and answering a question, actually you can be part of changing those policies as well. I touched on one point, but I think the ASP, for example, is greatly improved from the last round that the ASP was put in place. But part of it, your question about how it will help, go try it out, and if there are parts where we could improve on, we can try to improve it now, and also try to improve it in the future as new other communities come in as well. That's what I wanted to add.
That's great. Thank you so much, Evan, and that's great advice. Let's see. I'm just going to look at the Q&A pod. There's a question around how the interests of Indigenous communities will be protected when gTLDs are in conflict of traditional knowledge. So that's an excellent question. I will admit that is a bit beyond my subject matter expertise as the lead for the Applicant Support Program, and really has more to do with the processes and evaluations and objections and comment processes involved with the new gTLD application program. I'm aware that there are public comment processes and objection processes in place for folks to raise any issues or concerns that they might have. with an application for the new gTLD program. But Justine or those that are closer to the applicant guidebook information on that, feel free to raise your hand and chime in if there's anything else that you wanted to add. Justine?
Yeah, this is Justine. Thanks, Kristy. I think you mentioned some of the solutions that are built into the application and evaluation processes for the next round, right? So things like application comment, which is something that is available to anyone in the world. So it's not just, the ICANNers per se. That's available to any public member of the public who's got concerns or who wants to support a particular application for something. Then that is what we call the informal process. The more formal process is if you have standing to object to an application, then you can also file an objection, to an application. But that is a little bit more nuanced because you will need to understand the matter of standing as well as it comes with fees. But the application comment is free for all. Thanks.
That's fantastic. Thank you for supplementing my response there, Justine. I appreciate it. Krista?
Yeah, just adding to Justine's, you can also be preemptive and make sure you apply. And the other part to that is you can also apply as a community. So therefore you would receive a priority over any other applicants that went through, say, the normal application route. But most importantly, consider applying. Thanks.
That's also a great suggestion. Thanks, Krista. Appreciate that. I'm just looking at any further questions that we have. So next question in the Q&A pod is there any work done to assess why certain applications have been stalled and inactive? That is an excellent question and one that we have dove deeply into in recent weeks. So we just recently were able to get a report from the application system that showed us more detail about the age of the applications and also the last time that the applicant was active in the application system gives us a sense of what's going on with them. So we now have that reporting mechanism and we're able to better distinguish between folks that are active versus inactive. And in looking at some of the applications that are inactive and have been inactive, some of them since, the beginning of the opening, last November, last December, we can make some assumptions that perhaps it was someone that was curious and wanted to see what the application system looks like and what the process looks like, but really did not have any intention of applying for the applicant support program. We also did issue a pipeline survey. So that was a quick 5-question survey to any applicants in the pipeline. That was last May. We sent a follow-up to that as well, just to get a sense of, hey, we see you've started an application, but you may, be kind of stuck in some area. Is there anything in particular that you're struggling with? Would you like to be contacted by the applicant counselor, Aisha, who you just heard from earlier? And we had very few responses to that, but those that responded, we did address some of the challenges that they raised. And we also had the applicant counselor reach out to them directly if they asked for that help in order to provide the resources that they need to progress in the pipeline. We are continuing to do more investigation about where applicants might be quote unquote stuck and to get a better sense of those that are inactive in the system. Did they ever have an intention to apply? Do they still have an intention to apply? And why are they no longer active in the system? So that we can get a better diagnosis of what might be happening there and how we might be able to help them. Justine, please.
Yes, thanks, Kristy. This is Justine again. Excellent question to whomever posted. And excellent as well answer from Kristy. I would also like to add that part of our commitment in terms of being a community member is, and I'm speaking about APRALO, is this webinar. So we wanted to, create an opportunity for anyone who might be interested in applying for the applicant support status to meet people who can help them. And hence why we have this webinar where we are showcasing the applicant support pro bono service providers and mentors. Hopefully, at least you get to know them a little bit, and then you can do a little bit of forum shopping and see who you might want to work with. So hopefully we are reaching out to those potential applicants better that way. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Justine. And yeah, related to that, we had originally planned to publish the list of pro bono service providers and mentors when the first applicants qualified for support. But when we saw the applicants in the ASP pipeline itself were not progressing as fast and as the numbers that we would have loved to see, we published the list early and we made that available to every applicant in the pipeline. And we held a orientation webinar for those that had registered to offer pro bono services to let them know that they may be contacted sooner and they may be asked to help with the ASP application, not just the gTLD application. So we have provided some additional resources there, along with, of course, the readiness materials that I shared earlier. So yeah, but open to additional ideas. We very much appreciate this collaboration with APRALO, taking the initiative on this webinar so that we can, reach out to applicants that are thinking about applying or that have already applied and that may need a little bit of extra support to get through that process. So excellent question. And thank you, Justine, for your contribution to that. Phil, yes, go ahead. Oops, I changed the slide. Phil? Did you have a hand? Hi, Phil. I think you can speak. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I think I was muted.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry. I was just going to follow what you just said. I think it's really important that it's been put out. All the pro bono providers have been put out now, because I really do think that they need the help now, rather than waiting till they've got their discount on their fees and then they've got to go through the whole process to start looking all the requirements to apply in the full round, which obviously only 6 months time. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. You guys are the ones that are volunteering your time. So thank you for being willing to step up sooner and help the folks with their ASP applications as well. Next question in the Q&A pod is, how can ICANN's ASP help resource-constrained organizations apply for and operate a gTLD that supports local identity, culture, or language? There are comments about a particular country in here, but because we're just trying to be a little bit sensitive about country level information, so I'm not going to share the country specific questions, but I'll try to generalize here. What steps is ICANN taking to encourage applicants from a particular country, especially small and medium enterprises, NGOs, or community groups to participate in the ASP? Will ICANN provide localized training, outreach, or application guidance in a particular country to ensure wider accessibility of the Applicant Support Program? So I'm happy to start a response to those questions. And then maybe Samiran, would it be okay if I turn to you to talk a little bit about the outreach and engagement in countries in Asia Pacific generally?
Sure.
Okay. So I think, we have guidance from the community. So following the policy recommendations that came from the multi-stakeholder process, there was an additional group called the GNSO guidance process that was tasked with defining metrics of success for this program. And their first guidance recommendation was around the communications, outreach, and engagement efforts for the ASP. And the GNSO guidance process indicated that ICANN should target nonprofits, social enterprises, community organizations in underserved regions in particular. And so for the vast majority and almost exclusively, our outreach and engagement efforts and communications efforts have focused on underserved regions or otherwise known as developing economies or countries, primarily Africa, Asia Pacific, and Latin America, also the Middle East. So all of the attention around ASP and raising awareness and interest has really been in those regions, first and foremost. That doesn't mean that it's excluded by those regions. As I mentioned earlier, the policies, allows the program to be open to anyone, but we really have prioritized raising awareness and interest in those regions. In terms of encouraging applicants from those regions, again, the information that we're providing is really aimed at targeting those types of groups and those audiences. And I'll allow Samiran to speak a bit more to that. In terms of localized training, outreach, or application guidance to ensure wider accessibility. So a couple of things that we've done is making ASP readiness materials available in the 6 UN languages or 6 ICANN languages. We also rolled out a program a few months ago called the new gTLD program in your language. And with that program, anyone, anywhere, can request any sort of document be translated into a local language. So we've had requests for applicant support materials to be translated into Thai or to German, for example, to be able to use with more localized audiences. We are allowing the community to drive that, to let us know where the demand is, and we have a system for translating those materials into other languages. Samiran, what would you like to add to that by way of response?
Thank you, Kristy. A couple of things over here. Just wanted to firstly very quickly cover off some of the outreach that we've already done. And also, Kristy, I don't know if it's possible, last evening on the call with the GAC, you actually had a slide which showed the media coverage. I know it's a different deck. If it's possible for you to pull that up, maybe that could be useful for those on this call. So coming back to the outreach, the ASP outreach from our side started as early as last year when NIXI, the National Internet Exchange of India, actually partnered us in one of an event that took place in person. Apart from that, we've had a roadshow that we've had L.R and NIXI support in India. There were 3 cities. Vivek was very much part of that planning process. In all these events, we talk about the ASP application process. We've also had, we participated in something called the Brand Protection Congress in Singapore, again, in earlier this year, where we were part of a panel conversation where the next round and ASP were discussed. We've also worked with organizations in Thailand and Indonesia that have held events in those countries to talk about the next round. And we continue to work with partners as and when requests come in. Let's pivot to the media slide that Kristy has put on the screen. Thanks so much for sharing this, putting this on the screen.
Is this the right slide, Samiran? Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So I just wanted those on this call to get a sense of what we've been doing. There's been a fair bit of media outreach, whether it's through social media or regular newspapers and television channels, as the case might be, across different geographies, talking about the next round, talking about ASP. So yes. So I let me stop here, but this process, but before I stop, let me just conclude by saying that this process is ongoing. We, as the engagement staff in the APAC region, are available to the community. And as a result of which, by the way, how this event has also come about, please feel free to get in touch with us if there's something we can do to help share more information about the next round. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samiran. I appreciate that. And that deck that I just shared a quick slide from is also available online. I'll put the chat in the, I'll put the link in the chat. You can tell it's a bit late here for me. And I understand that Alan Woods from Clean DNS has maybe just joined. I'm just gonna check. Alan, are you with us now?
Am indeed, and my apologies to everybody. My alarm did not go off. So
Oh,
I'm the
no
opposite
problem.
end of the spectrum with you.
Totally understand. I'm just gonna find your slide here.
Sure. Thank you.
And I think we might have lost our timer, but we'll try and keep you honest on the 2 minutes. But please go ahead.
Thank you so much. And again, apologies to everybody. So very briefly, my name is Alan Woods. I'm the Chief Legal Officer of Clean DNS, and we are a anti-domain name abuse provider. We work with a lot of the large registries, Identity Digital, Public Interest Registry. And for the ASP and for the pro bono, we would love to be able to put people in a position where, number one, from an information point of view, trying to understand what are the obligations for DNS abuse is a very important aspect of when you're preparing either an application or indeed progressing through to being a registry operator. So we're very happy to have conversations and myself and provide guidance. I used to do one for Identity Digital myself. It was the compliance manager for all the DNS abuse in Identity Digital at the time. In addition to that, we're more than happy to provide, we have a service where we can provide alerts. Now, it's pretty simple to start off, but when you're starting off, just having alerts of DNS abuse, knowing that your zone is being targeted or attacked is an important start. So we're very happy to have that conversation with you as well, to send alerts to the applicants. Once you get your registry up and running, we can give you those early warning alerts, and perhaps then we can help you further at the end of the day. But having that something to do with Clean DNS, so we can provide you with alerts of phishing, farming, malware, and botnets and spam as a delivery mechanism. And also, we're happy to provide all the information to help you make your application, specifically when it comes to specification 6.4 and specification 11.3b. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Alan. That was great. And you even got in under the 2-minute timer, in which case some game of, well, what do we have? Hunger Games music starts to play. So well done. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And let's see, I'm just looking, we've got another question in the chat about requesting ASP materials in other languages. So I'm just going to post a link in the chat about how to access the next round in your language. So this is a link to the blog announcement, which includes a number of links, including to the community wiki page, which outlines the process for submitting and requesting. And also, if you're interested to be part of the translation review team for that. So you should be able to request pretty much any language in that process, and we'll work with ICANN community members and translators to get those materials turned around and available. Great question. Okay, I don't see any further unanswered questions in the Q&A pod. I'm just going to scroll through. And maybe while we're waiting to see if there are any further questions, I think I had a couple of links in the Q&A section as well. So as I mentioned, the recording from this and the slide deck materials will be posted on the ASP website and also on the wiki. We will also share the recording link for this to ASP applicants in the pipeline from the Asia Pacific region that may be interested to work with folks that are volunteering their time for applicants in that region. So thank you all for taking the time to present here, and if there are other mechanisms that you think or other channels that we could share the word from this or share the recordings of the materials, please let us know. We're happy to spread it far and wide. Any final questions or comments? Justine.
Yeah, I've just reached out to Mark. I think he's also in a very distressful time zone. So I'm going to see if he's going to join us and maybe have his 2 minutes.
Sure. That's great. If he's able to join, that would be great. Let us know. It is the wee hours, I suspect, where he is, but happy to have him. Maybe while we're waiting to see if he can join, I'll go to our last slide, which is a link to a feedback survey. So we have had the link for a while now, but we recently got this QR code, which we feel like is maybe easier for folks to just hold their phone up to and open up a quick survey. In case it's not, I'm going to put the link also in the chat. So if you prefer to click on the URL, it's there. If you prefer to do the QR code, it's there. It's just a few questions to get a sense of how this webinar and engagement activity worked, and any feedback that we could receive to improve them going forward. So thank you in advance for taking the time to fill that out. Is there anyone else that we might have missed from the pro bono service providers in terms of the presentations that didn't get a chance to present earlier? Justine, go ahead.
Yeah, it's only Mark, so I think he's trying to join. So I just want to mention that some of the pro bono service providers and mentors did also provide additional materials, and we have made that available for downloading of the APRALO Agenda Wiki. I think I've shared the link. If you could please pop that into the chat, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the reminder, Justine. Because I was sharing screen, I couldn't put it in earlier, but I figured out how to do it now. So it's in the chat there. Thank you.
Okay, I see Mark has joined us.
Welcome, Mark.
Hello,
We're just going to give you
everyone.
the ability. Oh, you can speak. Excellent. Let's go back to your slide. Just give me a second to get there. Thank you for joining in the wee hours of the night for you. And please, you can take the floor.
Apologies, everyone, for the delay. I was that guy that doesn't realize that the day has changed and that it was actually today. So apologies for that. So picking up on my slide, I am currently mentoring already for the ASP one applicant that is from the US region. But given that I have done a lot of good work with the AP region in the past, very good, very strong collaborations, also working with ICANN Wiki, I would be really glad to be able to assist the region in whatever capacity. My current applicant is working more on the business plan side of things, so that's what I've been focusing on. But I'm available to talk about other things. But if you have any ideas that need to be discussed, especially in that sense, how to make the model viable, how to make the TLD a good fit, this is something I'm very actively working on already. So I might be able to provide extra help on that. But I remain available to work on any of the listed services. It's just that this one stands out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining and for offering your services. And I don't see any further questions in the chat. And so with that, I hope everyone has taken a few minutes to complete this survey. I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time. We'll also follow up afterwards with the materials to everyone that registered to take it if you haven't already. And with that, I just want to say thank you all. And special thanks to our colleagues, Justine and Amrita, who took the initiative to reach out to Samiran and his team, who then reached out to the Applicant Support Program and my team to help organize this. But we really appreciate APRALO taking the initiative on this and serving in a very important coordinating function in bringing all the different pro bono service providers and mentors together, having you fill out those really helpful profiles and really catalyzing this event. So we very much hope that this can be repeated in other regions, and thank you all for joining.